Hey everyone, welcome to a special live edition, of course, of the Bolt Crew podcast. Every time I say live edition, every show's live that we do. Every single show we do is live. If you're here with us, fantastic. Normally we go, obviously, Monday and Thursdays at 1 p.m. Again, we had a conflict problem. We kind of suck at the clock here. But we are here early in the morning, kind of checking this out. At least Pacific time, it's early. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, our time, as we get things going. We want you to subscribe and like to the show, like always. If you're here, thank you very much. At the same time, it's a good time to talk Charger football. You know, I'm still feeling like what I felt on Sunday. It seemed like a lot of places I'm going, the first conversation is the Chargers and where do they rank with other teams. When you sit there and you look at the Chargers and you're looking at these other teams and outside of the Chiefs who, you know, get miracles as far as, you know, blocking game-winning kicks, it seems like every team in the NFL at some point shows you that they are beatable. I bring this up, Josh, because I said to you, hey, we just want to make the playoffs. Mario and I seem to be on the same boat. Hey, we're going to make the playoffs, and we're going to be happy with that. But when they lose in the playoffs, you're going to still be upset going out. You could have gone a step further. The more I'm watching, and we're going to get a true test when the Chargers play the Chiefs the second time, this Charger team, how far can they go? I kind of want to start the show that way. Like, how far can they go, and what team in the NFL are you afraid of right now?
Man, that's such a good question. How far could the Chargers go? I think the Chargers are good enough to win a playoff game. And a few weeks ago, I would have said no way they would win a playoff game, especially against the Cardinals, because we didn't know the Cardinals were any good, right? When we lost to them, Dave was guaranteeing a win, and then we lose, and I'm thinking this team sucks. You know, now I think they could win a playoff game because Justin Herbert, we've been talking about, is playing the best football maybe of his career right now with the least amount of talent he's ever had. Just on that fact, Mario, you pair that with our defense and our head coach, that's good enough to win a playoff game. And the team I'm scared of the most is still the Chiefs. I mean, I don't know how it could be any other team but the Chiefs.
I'm probably going to piss a lot of people off by saying this, but I don't think this team can win a playoff game at all because we haven't beaten a playoff team. So if we haven't beaten a playoff team, how can we expect that to just automatically change come playoff time, right? Like every time, let's be honest, guys, this team's been tested, they fell short. We get tested against the Chiefs, we fall short. We get tested against the Cardinals, we fell short. We get tested against the Steelers, and we fell short. Not saying I don't believe in this team. That's not a good team. It's a very talented team. I think it's a team that's outperforming. I think Herbert's having a hell of a season. I think they can win this weekend. But I look at the teams in the playoffs right now, and I go, we faced already two of them. We face one more next week. And the two times we did, like I said, we did not win those games. Broncos are the last team in right now. And like that very much could end up being a different team at the end of the season. I'm not confident enough to sit here and say, yeah, this team can make a run. Yeah, this team can win multiple games, can win a game in the playoffs because we just haven't seen it yet, right? Like if they come in and they beat the Bengals this weekend and maybe it's like a dominating win, Dave, then I'll be a believer that I'm like, all right, I think this team can really take a next step. But as of right now, we're just beating up on, you know, all the little guys. You know, we haven't stepped in and faced Goliath yet. We're just hitting David.
All right, so I'm looking at the chat here, and again, we read the chat. We might not have to get every one of them, but we read every single one of them. Games and gains, or gains and games. Sorry, I just rotated through, but I missed it. It said the Ravens is going to be the test to see what we are. I'll tell you this, just as a football fan, all right, I'm just kind of change the question on you a little bit. You aren't going to some of you are going to argue with me right now on what I'm saying. I'm usually the guy that I think most people would say on this show is the negative one on the show. But I'm telling you right now, there's not a team out there that I fear. I don't fear the Buffalo Bills. I don't fear the Steelers. Remember, even when they faced the Steelers, we were doing fine until the offensive line got banged up. And once the offensive line disappeared, we were a completely different team, and it was a nightmare. But otherwise, we were doing more than fine. But when I look at the Chargers compared to other teams in the NFL, every week I see them getting better. Tell me if I'm wrong on that, but I see this team is getting better, and that's what they've shown me along the way, that Jim Harbaugh has a plan, and these guys are becoming more and more polished. And I'm going to ask you, when you look at the Chargers, because I can tell you right now, when I look at the Ravens, I'm like, their defensive backfield is a huge weakness. They got a great quarterback. They have wide receivers that are very capable. They have a tight end that's capable, and they got a dominating running back. But that defense is going to kill the Ravens as they attempt to win a championship. When I look at the Chargers, I'm going to ask you, where is their weak spot? And I used to say it's the wide receiver core. Yeah, we want weapons. It's the tight ends. But overall, they're figuring out a way to win with what they have, and they're figuring a way to put their will onto another team. They're controlling tempo. Everything they're controlling. Josh, where's the biggest weakness right now with this Charger team? Because I feel safe with this defense.
Defense, I don't see any weakness right now. There's two weaknesses on the offense that have been huge sore spots so far. It's the tight end position, the pass catching tight end position. Will Disley, people have been talking about in the comments, we're asking him to do too much. You're right. He wasn't brought in to be the pass catching tight end. That's supposed to be Hayden Hurst. We don't have a pass catching tight end that's capable. And then the interior offensive line is the biggest weakness on the entire team, in my opinion. Those are going to be two things that are going to be more apparent as you play better teams. They're going to bring pressure up the middle. The last thing you want is Justin Herbert to take a hit right up the middle. That's the worst possible hit for the quarterback. So those are two things for me. The defense is shocking. And Mario said, we need to open up the playbook. I think the Chargers have opened up the playbook, believe it or not. Gus Edwards looked great the other day. We finally have two running backs that are capable. Haskins looks pretty good. QJ looks pretty good. I'm not really concerned with the wide receivers as much as I thought I would, Mario. The cornerback position, if you remember going into the season, we were saying we need better cornerbacks. We need better cornerbacks. Then we lose Asante Samuel Jr., who's supposed to be our best cornerback. And then we have these two rookies rise to the occasion, right? And then you have Henley, who's been amazing in the middle of the defense. Derwin James looks back to form. I really believe, Mario, and I know you're not all in on him, the defense could help us win a game. And Justin Herbert, I think, can do enough. You can't win a playoff game until you win a playoff game. So for you to say, they've never done it, you have to do it eventually.
And look, these next games they have coming up, guys, I'd argue that they are playoff games, right? Like, we got the Bengals, then we have the Ravens, then you have the Falcons, then you have Kansas City. Like, this is a really rough 4-game stretch. And honestly, I'll say it now, I'll go ahead and push it to 5. Because Buccaneers, I know they have injuries, but we've seen the past couple weeks, they're going to fight with you. They're going to push it all the way into the end. And if you don't pull out a win, they will. Or if Todd Bowles decides not to go for 2 when he should obviously go for 2, then you're going to win because he's an idiot. But these next games, man, for these 5 teams, these are teams that will be in the playoffs and are going to be teams you don't really want to face, right? Like Bengals got to really win out, and they're in a desperate mode. You're going to get the best for the Ravens because if you don't think Jim and John are talking smack to each other all week for that, you got another thing coming. You have the Falcons who have arguably top 5 talented roster, maybe in the NFC, not all of the NFL, in the NFC, you could maybe make that argument. And then you have KC, who's the reigning defending Super Bowl champions back-to-back and currently undefeated. I think they lose this weekend, but they're currently undefeated. This is where, Dave, that you get to show everyone, hey, we're a playoff team. I don't think they have to go 4-0 in this band. I wrote it in our rundown. I think they have to go 2-2. You go 1-3, kiss my ass. 2-2, it's pretty good. 3-1, incredible. Now we're talking. Take me out on a freaking date. 4-0, I don't know. I'm going to be naked in the next show. Who knows? I'm going to be pretty excited.
The whole time you're talking, I'm trying to think of these words like if Harbaugh was saying them to the team. Guys, you go 1-3, you can kiss my ass. I mean, it's funny is a couple things you said there that I was like, wait a second, is that what's going on? When you said that Jim and John are talking trash, I don't know if they're the brothers that talk trash before an event or they do it afterwards, like when the season's over. Like Jim says some things, and the way Jim talks about John is he says there's not a person in the world I trust more than John. Like he is his closest person. Like, you know what I mean? Of course, his dad in the relationship, but he's the guy he trusts more than anybody is his brother John. And then John, on the other hand, is funny as hell when he talks about Jim, how the guy's a psycho, basically, he tells you. He has no friends. He never had friends. Nobody want to be his friend. He's the guy that when you're swimming in the ocean, he comes out of nowhere and tries to choke you and drown you at the same time and then laughs about it. Like, hey, those are all jokes. Everything. So I know you thought you're going to lose your life, but those are all jokes. It is a funny relationship between the two. And that the dad is obviously very competitive, but to see the age of these two men that are still so competitive. And I think that's what drives Jim Harbaugh to show up to work every single day. I think the players and the team are just light years ahead of what I thought was going to happen. At the same time, when I'm watching the Detroit Lions and I'm watching the Texans the other night, I'm like, I don't see as big of a difference as I thought I'd see. Like I'm a big eyeball test guy going, it's not the same thing. When I watch SEC football compared to what's going on in the ACC, it's night and day. It's just two different things. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't see the Chargers not fitting in. They're part of the club, is what I was saying. I feel like right now the Chargers can play with almost anybody. I don't know what's going on with the Chiefs. Like, I feel weird just talking about the Chiefs at all, because the Chiefs just feel like weird things happen with the Chiefs. And I think Jim Harbaugh is fine with what's going on with the Chiefs too. I think right now he's like, again, the whole we'll take care of business deal. I like the fact that the Chargers aren't taking games off like you see certain teams do. And I mean, Mario, your friends, I mean, you're so close, obviously, with people in Indianapolis that are really tight with the Colts. What are you hearing about the Colts nonstop? There are guys who are not giving effort. Guys are calling each other out. That guy's not trying. And you hear that in the NFL all the time. And the Colts believe they can make a playoff push, but yet you have people in their locker room with supposed to be one of the best coaches in the league. That guy's not giving 100%. That guy's not giving 100%. As fans, we see it too. But with this Charger team, I mean, they are all in. They are all right behind him. Better than any coach I've seen the Chargers have, and that goes for Marty. And people aren't going to like that I said that. But Marty never proved he can win anything. Jim has already been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he just won the college national championship.
Yeah.
I agree with Dave. I think the Chargers are in a better spot in the AFC than if they were in the NFC. I think the NFC is actually a better conference right now. For me, when you look at the AFC playoff picture, you have the Chiefs as a juggernaut. Not saying the Chiefs aren't beatable, but they're a juggernaut. They're undefeated for a reason. Then to me, you have the Buffalo Bills. I think they're the second best team in the AFC. Then I would put the Ravens. And then honest to God, Mario, I'd really put the Chargers right there with the Houston Texans. I don't think the Texans are very special. I mean, I've seen the Texans play a lot. There's a ton of weaknesses with that team. You're talking about a talented roster. They're in the top 5 for me. I mean, how many guys on that team have made a Pro Bowl or a Pro Bowl level players? They're all over the field. I don't think the Texans are that great. They've had tons of injuries at the wide receiver position. If the Chargers played the Texans in the playoffs, I'd feel pretty good. Honestly, I'd feel pretty good. I actually am more scared about the Cincinnati Bengals than the Houston Texans. I just really feel good about this Chargers team. If you listen to other shows and they talk about the Chargers, they talk about the Chargers as a contending team. Maybe not for the Super Bowl, but a team that can beat anybody on any Sunday. And as a fan, isn't that what you want? I mean, we've had so many games doing this show where we're like, we're going to get our asses kicked. We don't have enough players. We don't have the scheme. We don't have the coach. It finally feels like everything's coming together. I put the Chargers as maybe like the 4th best team in the AFC right now.
So the thing that I really like what you said is like with the Texans, I'll say this about that. I think the Chargers match up fantastic with the Texans. Like there's things that like just are going to go their way. One, they give up the 3rd most sacks in the NFL. Our pass rush is really good. In the past 3 weeks, I believe we're like top 3 in sacks as a team. That's going to be scary when you face the Texans because they have no one to block. They constantly penalize. At one point, they're the most penalized team in the NFL. I believe they're still in like the top 5, if not top 10. So they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. Chargers just haven't really been doing that, right? Like that's been the best thing with hardball is like this team, every time it takes a step back, they take 4 steps forward. Like they always rebound to the highest ability that they can. I don't really know if we can say that about the Texans. It's safe to say C.J. Stroud's taking a slump too in his sophomore year, which that always happens as well. So is Texans a better team than us? I don't know, but we match up great with them. Like if the Chargers were able to get the Texans in the first round, guys, I would then say pretty comfortably, and I'd bet on the Chargers. But yeah, I think the Chargers can 100% win that game because it matched up where we would rock them, I think. But the team that still kind of worries me is kind of the Steelers.
Yeah.
It's
just Russell Wilson's the quarterback. I don't know. That's the one thing that
Dude, he
gives
looks
me grace.
great. He's averaging 30 points a game. He looks
with
great.
Tomlin. He looks great. And that defense looks great.
He looks great with Tomlin. And I understand the Steelers beat us. But do you really think the Chargers couldn't beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh? Like 100% do think the Chargers could beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh. I'd feel more confident about that than Buffalo or Kansas City. Maybe you don't.
No, I feel the Chargers, as I said before, I feel the Chargers can play with anybody. Actually, you're going to think I'm crazy when I say this. I'd rather play the Chiefs than play the Bills in Buffalo. Like the Chargers are used to going to Kansas City. I'd rather play the Chiefs because they're familiar with each other.
Yes.
But I'd rather not go to Buffalo to play that playoff game. Look, I want to be in the playoffs. I want to go back real quick to 2 things you just said to Mario when you talked about the Texans. I'm going to ask Josh the question first. Are you a point differential guy? Like when you look at stats, do you care about point differential?
Huge. I think it's huge.
Okay. So here's the deal, Mario, to your point. Chargers, I think, are a better team than the Texans. All right. And I'm just going to go off of this. The Texans play in one of the worst divisions in football. You know, they're -2 in point differential. That's playing the Colts twice, the Titans twice, the Jags twice. They're -2. There's no one in that division that has scored more points than they've given up. It's kind of surprising, right? The Chargers are +68. That's 10 more than the Kansas City Chiefs. Tells you the defense is doing a really good job, right? The Charger defense is doing an outstanding job for the Chargers to be a +68. Pretty amazing. Steelers are I think 69. I can't see. And then, of course, the Bills are ridiculous. The Bills are +97. The Dolphins, Jets, Patriots, all under, way under. And then when you look on the AFC North, the Ravens are +65. The Bengals are +8. And then overall in the division that the Chargers are in, AFC West, the Chiefs 58, Chargers 68, Broncos are +20, Raiders are -83. But my point is, when you look at the Texans, who are supposed to be one of the premier teams, right, and they're going to get to host a playoff game, you look at the Texans, I'm not afraid of the Texans. And you could say CJ Stroud took a step back. You know what Jim Harbaugh would say? He would say the problem is you addressed all the shiny things on your car. Guess what? You didn't take care of what was important, and that's the engine. You didn't take care of the offensive line, right? And that's why the Texans have holes in their game. I like the Chargers' chances if they were to face the Texans. The Steelers has nothing to do. Russell Wilson's playing out of his mind. I mean, he is. He's playing really, really well for them. Like prime Seattle, Russell Wilson. Mike Tomlin, whatever he does is absolutely incredible. And he's against the grain of everything where they say you have to have an offensive coach. I say it all the time. A defensive coach that never has a losing season. Pretty goddamn good, man. Pretty impressive what happens in Pittsburgh.
Where would you rank the Steelers? Ahead of the Bills, behind the Bills, behind the Ravens, ahead of the Ravens?
I'd rather play the Ravens than the Steelers, and we haven't seen the Ravens. I never thought I'd say that, but I'm looking at that Ravens secondary. I'm like,
bad.
What the hell's happening over there? And then you just lost Hamilton. I'm like, I don't know. I'd rather face their secondary. I'd rather face the Ravens than face the Steelers. What do you guys think? I mean, curious.
I don't want to face Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. And I understand the defense has been awesome. We haven't seen anything like those two guys, and we will see them soon. I just rather face them I'd rather face Najee Harris and Russell Wilson. You know, like I just don't know.
What about their defensive line against our offensive line? You know what I mean?
It's hard for me to imagine that
about.
the Ravens defense wouldn't show up a little bit. I mean, I know they've been really bad. I imagine they'll be a little bit healthier when the playoffs roll around. At least I think they will. TJ Watt obviously is the best defensive player in the NFL. I wouldn't want to face either one of them, but I'd rather face both of them over the Bills right now. I don't think I want to play Josh Allen and the Bills, and then I don't want to play the Kansas City Chiefs. I understand what you're saying about familiarity with Arrowhead, but we get our asses kicked in Arrowhead every time. It's not like, I mean, we don't get our asses kicked.
But at least we know where the locker room is. You know,
okay. We know where the barbecue. We know where the barbecue spot is after the game too. It doesn't matter. We still lose, and I know we're not getting killed, but it's not like Arrowhead's a place you want to go to.
You rather go to Buffalo than Arrowhead? In the cold, in the winter, in the snow? Where would you rather go?
I'd rather go to Buffalo because they're kind of like the Chargers. Like they don't win the big games either. They're more susceptible to blowing a game than the Chiefs.
If this is their 1 year though for them to do it, it's like got to be this year. If you're Buffalo, like I think last year was Ravens.
You said that, Mario, for the last 5 years.
No, okay, but hear me out.
I said it.
I think it's like Chiefs are undefeated, obviously, but like we see like there's good amount of weaknesses in that team that you can kind of take advantage of. Like I think Ravens last year that was their moment to win the Super Bowl. You had the best defensive coordinator in the league. You had the best defense in the league. Lamar's MVP. Your receiving core is pretty strong. You had everything. You had him at home. That was your moment, and they just kissed it goodbye and said, "Yeah, we maybe next time, fellas." I think maybe this might be the Bills' moment. But that being said, I kind of lean towards Dave what you're saying, where it's like it's really hard to beat a team. If let's say we lose to the Chiefs this season and we play them in the playoffs, right? It's really hard to beat the same team 3 times, especially when it's Harbaugh and Herbert. That's insanely hard.
Yes. Look, let me address this real quick. Dominic Rogers on this side. Dominic, we love you, as we told you in the last show. What didn't go well for you last time? Say right now. Bro, KC gets just as cold. That's what Dominic writes to me, okay?
It does.
I know it gets cold in KC. Dude, it's not my first year on the planet. God dang it. I've watched a lot of football. I see what the weather is. I know it gets us cold, but you know what? It snows in sheets in Buffalo. Like at KC, it gets freezing, but you never just see that snow just pouring down where the guys can't see. In Buffalo, we've like, dude, it's crazy how much snow is coming down at this one moment. That was my point. Also, it's a little bit further of a trip. Also, you play the Chiefs all the time. Maybe you have an idea of what they're doing. I tell you what set me off, Dominic. I don't like to be called bro. And nothing makes me angrier than when someone says, "You mad, bro?" Dude, I wasn't mad a second ago, but until you just said that, now I'm going to punch you right in the face. "You mad, bro" line drives me crazy. Don't say that to me ever. If you see me in public, you see you mad, bro, it's going to be the last thing you say for about 30 seconds until you get off the ground. I'm telling you right now. Don't do that crap.
Poor
Enough.
Dominic. Dominic's actually somebody we
I know,
like
I love
too.
Dominic.
I love
I
Dominic.
smoked 2
I love
shows.
him
I do
more
too.
now.
But what do you call me bro for? I didn't
Fan of
take it
the
that way.
week.
Don't call me bro. Don't call me champ. Don't call me chief. Says it on my
Boss?
t-shirt. Boss, dude.
Boss.
That guy at Chick-fil-A calling me boss every time what do you want to eat today, boss? Dude, I'm going to get out of the car. Now it's on. Don't call me boss. I'm not your boss. I cuss a lot. Guess what? No one at Chick-fil-A cusses. I swear a lot. I can never work here. I'm not your boss.
We're gonna get spammed in the chat. Just boss, bro.
Whatever.
Like, and people have good sense of humor. And they should.
Whatever. I'm on edge. God
So-
dang it, Dominic.
Happy
You're
birthday.
just talking down to me, bro. It gets cold in KC. I know. Shit. Damn. Today's my birthday. Today's my birthday. Okay. I've lived
Today's
a
your
long
birthday.
freaking time. All right. I know. Not 4 years old. Damn it.
Let's play our favorite game. Guess Dave's age. First
Oh.
one to get it.
Yeah.
Guess Dave's age. We'll give
See how many people
20
remember from last year.
seconds. If anybody can get it in the next 20
You
seconds.
know what's funny? Gabriel, don't tell
What?
me to chill either. That drives me nuts too. Don't tell me to relax and don't tell me to chill. You chill.
Ooh,
Oh.
52 is the first guess.
58,
58.
52,
Sean, it's on.
53.
Oh, Sean say 58
49.
or 53 because I can't see. Did someone say
50?
58? That'd piss me off.
Oh, wow. That's a compliment. 35.
35 is nice.
Thanks, Bill.
That means you would have been 4
Dominic,
years
you
old.
son of a gun. Are you just trying
Dominic,
to get under my skin?
60. That's good, Dominic.
Dang it, Dominic.
We're missing, guys. I'm going to say it right now.
60. I'm at
We're
60.
missing a good opportunity for a 69 joke. Someone's got to do it. We're missing an opportunity.
I'll take that. That's nice.
I think a couple
All
people
right.
got it already, by the way.
Okay, I
Right?
saw one in there that got it. Oh, the 42.
55.
55 is the
No.
correct answer.
No, it's not.
Right?
I'm not 55.
Oh, no, you're born 9. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Thinking of mom. I was thinking of mom. I was thinking of mom.
Jeez.
Sorry. Apologize.
So you 54?
54.
Oh,
today.
Richie got it. Richie
Yeah.
Price. Congrats, Richie.
Yeah.
Your prize
That's
is
crazy that my parents are older than you. And yet, Josh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but how old's your oldest sibling? Well, no, my son, my youngest son Jake was a couple months older than you.
Yeah, right. I was going to
Yeah.
say we were the same age, correct?
Dude, that is crazy to think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot, age. Sorry.
Thank you, Cameron. I
brother.
love you too.
My brother is 35. He told me 2
Your brother's
weeks ago.
35?
Yeah, and I just accidentally said his name, and he told me 2 weeks ago never say my name on air. So that's my bad.
What would John Harbaugh do? You'd 100% say it on air.
True, and he fought me in the ocean before, so we got something in common.
He said never say my name on there. It's hilarious. All right, there you go. That was it. There we go. I just took care of the "What is Dave mad at today" segment. You guys are all set.
Did you hear that the Steelers haven't played a divisional game all season till this Sunday? Or
That's
it's on
insane.
I don't know if they play Sunday or Monday or whatever their situation is, but how is that possible? Their first divisional game is week 10. Who
That's
makes
the same.
schedule?
That's the same with the Bears too.
Are you serious?
Yeah, this is
I
the
hate that
first game.
so much. I hate it. Hate it. Why? What the hell? So there's
I don't like that. I also
7
don't like when
games
teams-
left and 6 of them are within the division.
I don't like when teams face teams in the division twice in 3 weeks. I think that's weird. Like you got to show that it's different. You play them in the beginning, you play them at the end.
I agree.
That's the way it should
100%.
be to see how much you've improved or how injuries,
Thank
whatever.
you.
How where's have we gotten? I don't understand that.
Yeah, I mean
Makes
they
no
go.
sense.
This is their schedule: Ravens, Brown at Cleveland, at Cincy, Browns, 4 weeks in a row, and then you have your break in between all those divisional games. So let's be honest, your divisional games are usually the hardest games. We talked about this ad nauseum. Your break after that is at Philly, and then you go at Baltimore, Kansas City, at
Damn.
home, and then you finish Cincinnati. That is a
It's
gauntlet.
insane.
Yeah, that is a tough. I mean, they did their job, like 7-2 headed into this. Like they did their job. But like that is like they're gonna fall in the playoff rankings and maybe even fall out of the playoffs. Like there's no way they, go out of that thing unscathed.
That's crazy hard schedule. Crazy hard.
Yeah, wait till you
Couple
guys- Argos.
super chats here, Mario, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to the Bean King, $9.99. Says, "Hey guys, love the show. Best Chargers podcast out there. Donating a few bucks to the swear jar for Mario since he's let a couple slip lately."
Thank
I think I
you.
let one slip today too. Mario, yeah. I
Yeah, we
appreciate
need it. Plus, I know I can speak for Josh too. Booking flights back home, the holidays. That's a kick to the left one, if you know what I mean.
Hold
It
on.
is.
Are you at the age where your parents will say, "Hey, Mario, we're going to pick it up"?
No. I
What
mean,
if you-
not.
What if you
If I
call the
ask,
hey,
maybe.
Yeah,
If I
yeah.
ask, yeah.
yeah, but you want to show you're grown, you got a real job, you live in a real city. I can pay my own flights.
Yeah, like I really do. And like, I mean, I'm still on their insurance, so it's like something's got to give.
And their phone plan. You're on the
And their
phone
phone plan, and their Netflix. So something's got to give, So, I think if I did, like when I can say this sibling name, when Joey, I think whenever she's due, his wife, can't say her name. I'm trying to keep mental notes of that.
Do you know her name?
Yeah, you
Okay,
set
just
me
wanna
up
make
right
sure.
there. You set me
No,
up
I
right
just
there,
want to
you
know,
bastard.
do you know her name? Or are you one of those like, I have so many family members, I can't remember everyone's name.
No, I've done a good. I can name all my nieces and nephews. I know all their names. I got all that. Birthdays is tough though. Birthdays is a son of a bitch. By the way, you can say that. You can say that word because it's FCC approved. By the way,
Which is really funny.
All
Yeah,
right,
right.
next
Doesn't make a
one
lot of sense.
comes from Demetrius Jones, one of our other favorite people. Says, "Happy birthday," or $9.99. Thank you, Demetrius. Says, "Happy birthday, Dave. Today is my birthday as well, and I want you to have a great day."
There you go. Thank you, Demetrius. Happy birthday to you. We share it with Whoopi Goldberg, Jimmy Kimmel, Vinny Testaverde. Who's the guy from 300? What's his
I
face?
don't know.
Oh, Jared Butler.
Yeah, his birthday too. Yeah, we share it
Gerard,
with
but yeah, it's okay.
Oh.
Gerard Butler.
His friends call him that, so it's fine.
Yeah.
They just say, "What up, G?"
What are you gonna do for your birthday, real quick, before we move back to football? You have any plans?
No, I'm working all day. I got literally when this show's over, I got another show, and then I got other things I got to do, and then I'll get into it on the next show and tell you. But I'm hosting Laker post game shows for the rest of the season, and so I got up at 4 a.m, and I'll probably end up going to sleep after 12. It's a long day.
What was
luck
the
with that.
best present you've ever gotten on your birthday?
Good question.
That is, God dang, I wish you would have asked me before so I got time to think about it. I don't know, man. Nothing stands out. Nothing really stands out. I had a birthday a few years ago during the pandemic. It was one of the best days. It was cool. Remember that, Josh? It was
Yeah, that
actually
was
Josh.
cool.
It was a
Surprise
surprise
party.
party.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
that's
that
great.
was. Remember at that point, everybody was so like depressed because no one was, everyone was staying home and you weren't seeing people. And then it was outdoors, but we all kind of broke COVID, right? We all just said, screw it. If we get COVID, we get COVID. And a bunch of people got together. It was a good time.
Yeah, that was one of the best birthdays I've ever been to. Okay. For this Sunday, are we doing a live show just to get that out of the way?
Okay, well, let's handle some show business right now. Since it's Wednesday and we normally go Tuesday and Thursday, are we coming back tomorrow?
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Coming back
Okay,
tomorrow.
good. All right, I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's go tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Yeah. We'll be
Then,
here tomorrow.
what?
We'll be here tomorrow, and then Sunday we're going to do a live show, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Live show.
Well, hold on. Just real quick. You're going out of town, Josh. You going to be back in time for that live show?
Yeah, it's a night game.
All right. But you're leaving the country.
I'm just going to Rosarito. It's right around the corner.
Dude,
Not bad.
it
You know,
was
we
a
have-
tough neighborhood, man. There was only
You know,
one
you
way
turn
out.
into a smart
Dude, you
ass
lived
on
in a
your birthday.
cul-de-sac.
Okay, I know we're going to talk about the Chargers Bengals tomorrow. Any other NFL news that you guys want to get to? Anything you've seen?
Okay, I want to ask you. I do real quick. Two things I got for you. Chicago Bears complete disaster. A lot
Oh
of
my
talk
God.
that the Bears are breaking Caleb Williams. All right. And again, the number 1 pick in the draft. Is this one of those Greg Oden, Kevin Durant deals? Like, oh my God, we've got the wrong guy. Did we get the wrong guy? And I tell you what, I'm going to sit and tell you right now, Mario, all your friends in Chicago, you guys got the wrong guy. They gave him weapons. They gave him the wrong guy. They gave him a great city. Caleb Williams, who's a DC guy, maybe would have been better going home. Look, what Jaden Daniels is doing in Washington, we did our awards the other day. I would say Jaden Daniels right now might have my vote for MVP and Rookie of the Year. Like the Gon Ichiro style, going both. Look what he's done with that team and where they are at. And the Commanders have been a joke for the longest time. They haven't done anything since basically 1992. And look what the Commanders are doing right now with Jaden Daniels and Dan Quinn.
Mario.
All right, I'll rebuttal. I got a lot to rebuttal. One, Shane Waldron, I don't think was the right hire to begin with. There's a good snippet of JSN when he found out that he was going to Chicago, and he was like, "Really? Like they decided to hire him? Not a good start." I think there's faults in that organization to begin with. Their biggest problem that they had in that locker room last year returned this year, and it was Matt Eberflus. He was the biggest issue for that team. He was the guy that was holding that team back, and they decided to keep him around. And then now you're seeing the repercussions of this. And now he's scapegoated Shane Waldron, which he should have fired him. But at the same time, he is a problem. He is the issue. You go through 2 offensive coordinators, the offense is still a problem, then it's you. You know, look in the mirror. It's you, buddy. With Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels, look, obviously right now, Jaden Daniels is the better football player. Obviously. That being said, I am a firm believer that every QB deserves more than 1 season. They deserve more. You get 2, you should get 3. To sit here now and go, Caleb's Greg Oden, he's Jamarcus Russell, he's Anthony Bennett.
I didn't say that. He's Greg Oden.
You hinted at it.
He's Greg Oden because he went first, and the guy right behind him is one of the greatest of all time.
Okay. But my point is still, I think he can be an insanely good quarterback in this NFL still. And there is still, people are also overlooking that in that last game against the Patriots, that whole O-line were third stringers.
It's the Patriots.
It doesn't matter. It's third stringers. The whole thing's third stringers.
It's name one guy on the Patriots. Like
there's
name
the whole line was third stringers. It was all third stringers. And yes, did it look bad? It looked terrible. But there are still signs this year that Caleb Williams is something. And by the way, rewatch that film. When he had time to throw, there was no one open. They said it in the game. They say it in the film. When no one's open, it's on scheme. It's on the dumbasses that are up top calling plays. That's who it's on. It's not on him. You can't throw guys open. No rookie can do that. It's just what it is. So fire Flus and do not get – this is my hot take for this whole thing, guys. And I think you got to learn from the Chargers here. Then I'm going to shut my mouth and then probably jump through my window. Not really. But
Alex wants to know why you're yelling.
Dude, Alex, because it's 11:34 a.m. on a Wednesday, and why the hell not? And last time I checked, it's a free country, and you can yell whatever you want to yell. Learn from the Chargers. Don't chase the next great coordinator. Go get an established guy. Just go get Vrabel. Go get Vrabel. I don't want to go Ben Johnson. I'm sure it's going to be a great head coach in the league, but you're in an organization that always fails to get the right coordinator. Get the right guy. Get the guy with the track record. Go get Vrabes. Learn from the Chargers. The Chargers did this crap with coordinator. Then they go, let's just finally get the established guy. That's what Chicago needs to do if they want to be successful. If they want to keep farting down the road, go hire Ben Johnson, which they probably won't do. I think they'll end up hiring Cliff Kingsbury.
Wow. Who's the guy that called this? He calls every quarterback. He's not even what's his name?
It wasn't even a quarterback. It was the dude.
I know. I can't think of his name.
It was the running back for the Steelers. He said he was going to be a complete bust, so it wasn't going to transfer.
He's called like every quarterback. What's his name?
Wait, what did you say?
So good for him.
Oh no! God dang it! What's his name?
Dude, I don't want to see Caleb Williams fail. I'm just what I was saying is, and I'm not saying he's a future bust. I saw Jamarcus Russell; he was a bust. I saw Ryan Leaf; he was a bust. Caleb Williams on Hard Knocks telling the punter, "Hey, dude, you're barely going to be getting any use this year." I think he leads the league in punt attempts.
I mean, that was
crazy, man. But overall, when you look back at it, and trust me, I said it before, I think 2 years before Caleb Williams came out, I go, Caleb Williams is going to be the number 1 pick in the draft just because that's what you're hearing. And everyone saw what he did, Oklahoma, USC. But Jaden Daniels, in fairness to him, not only did he win at LSU and was very good, he won the Heisman Trophy. Like, everything showed that Jaden Daniels was going to project to do what he's doing right now. Pretty amazing.
Merrill Hodge.
Merrill Hodge.
No Hodge, yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't he have some crazy hot takes in between those?
Dude, he had 90 concussions. The fact he even knows the players' names is amazing.
Okay, I'm just saying, 'cause I'm like remembering he said something that was like, it was a hot one. Where I was like, I would have sat that one out, but you go for it if you want.
He's nailed a few. Wow, I was about to say something really. Wow, never mind. He's gotten good predictions on quarterbacks. Something that pissed me off. I don't know if this actually bothered either one of you. Did you see what Tua did in the last game with the tackle? Throws an interception.
yes.
Did you see this, Dave?
No.
Throws an interception. Has to make the tackle. How would you do it if you're him? How would you make the tackle if you're in his situation? Anything but your head.
I'd throw my body at him. I'd just throw my hip at him. I just
throws his head right in the guy, right in his knee.
Dumb as a
I'm
rock.
like, dude, you're back on the field and you're going to throw your head at guys' knees. What the hell are you doing? And if you're the Saints, how do you throw Chris Olave out there? I think it's just as bad as Tua, right?
Dude,
this guy might not even.
Six
concussions. Insane. I don't know how the NFL doesn't make these guys wear the Guardian cap.
Is Chris Olave
two concussions?
Is Chris Olave like 23, 24 years old? Like, he's under 25, right?
Yeah, he's young.
He's my age, right?
I mean, that's a lot of concussions.
He did 4 years in college. I'm not sure how young he is, but San Diego guy,
24.
Yeah,
24. Went to the same high school. I played with his brother in high school. But yeah, the NFL should make those guys wear the Guardian cap. 100%. It's horrible.
You're right. If you've had more than 2 concussions, the NFL should make you wear it.
They should.
Yeah. It's really not that big of an inconvenience either. I remember I had to wear it. Like, it's not that bad. Also, if I'm Mike McDaniels, I'm telling Tua, I don't care unless it's the Super Bowl. Don't go for it. But that's honestly what I'd say. You know what I mean?
I would tell him just run off the field. You throw a pitch, just run off the field.
Just run off the field. Just don't even like literally like the term business decision. I'd tell him like, look, yeah, for you, yeah, it's a business decision. I don't want you to hear it. Just
Cam Newton. Don't jump on the football. We'll be back in the Super Bowl. It's not worth it.
Yeah. do you? I'll tell Tua, dude. Just don't throw a pick. Just don't put yourself in that situation. It's just that simple.
You say he's completing 80% of his passes right now? It's crazy.
He does.
Yeah,
he's good.
80% since he's been back. A lot of people hate him.
Very
he's
good.
terrible.
Well, Charger fans hate him because of Herbert. I don't think Tua's bad at all. He needs to wear the Guardian cap. I'm so happy Demetrius put this comment. Can you throw that up there? And the reason we're on so early is it's my fault. I have an actual job and I was busy yesterday. So sorry. Demetrius says, did y'all see or hear Mahomes on a hot mic asking the refs during a call to let him know when the defenders are close to him? Who wants to answer that first?
I didn't see this actually. So
you didn't see this, Mario?
No.
Dude, it was frustrating as hell, and at the same time, didn't surprise anyone. I'm telling, there was zero joking. Like, if you think that's the first time he's ever said that to somebody back there, you're out of your mind. He said it so straight faced. It was insane. It bothered me because that's how we all feel is happening anyway as we're watching the games. Like, hey, watch your back. I mean, he literally asked the guy, "Let me know if they come back to get sacked. Give me a heads up."
What bothered you more, him saying it or the referee's response? Okay, Patrick.
I didn't catch the referee's response.
Okay,
I just
Patrick.
heard him saying it.
Okay. I get a little puppet.
See?
I'm like, what the hell? What's going on?
I agree. What is going on? I don't want to say, look, Josh always says this. Right now, we're looking at the greatest quarterback of all time, right? You say when it's all said and done, he's going to be the guy they talk about, not Tom Brady. It's going to be Mahomes. We might. But when I look at him, I just, don't like him. I don't think I'll ever like him, even when he retires. Will I tell people he was this and that? Just not a fan about anything. Not a fan of his brother, not a fan of his mother, not a fan of his wife, not a fan of the fact he stinks through 3 quarters and he's great in the 4th quarter. I got it. Just not a fan. I'm going to be the guy that questions him and say, well, if he didn't have Andy Reid, what kind of player would he have been? Because he didn't even have a winning record in college.
Yeah. Well, Brady didn't have Belichick. Does he win 7?
Yeah, Belichick was a defensive coach. I don't.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, does he have success or win 7? Does he not?
Win
No, he does
7.
not win 7 without Belichick.
But he wins
Does
2.
does he have
3.
the success? Yes, I think he has success.
Yeah.
Let me
One
ask you
thing
a
about-
question. Let me ask you a question. If they flipped
Yeah.
and Mahomes had Belichick and Tom Brady,
Brady
had
has
Reed,
15. Brady has
had
15.
Andy Reid, dude, I think he's even better with Andy Reid.
No.
You pair Andy
Yeah.
Reid with Tom Brady, I 100% do.
I
No.
agree.
Reed didn't win one with the Philly.
You had Don
Donovan
McNabb. Look how crappy
So?
McNabb was when he. How good was McNabb when he went to DC or Minnesota?
Belichick, you tell me
Awful.
when
Maybe McNabb was an NFL player.
He's
When
eating
Belichick
Campbell's
was-
chunky soup on the sidelines.
when
Dude, and
Belichick
he-
was firing
Keyword
when
chunky.
when Belichick was at the peak of his powers. Peak of his powers. You really think? No shot. No, I don't think so. Also,
Andy
people
Reid's an
forget.
offensive genius.
Yeah, Belichick's an all-around genius. He found a hole in every rule.
Doesn't he suck without Brady?
Yeah, he did. If Belichick was such a goddamn genius, and I said this because I agree with this, but a buddy of mine told me this. If the guy's such a genius, how come Brady wasn't starting before Bledsoe got hurt? He couldn't even read the players on the team. They didn't start winning until
Jesus.
Bledsoe got his chest caved in.
Okay, then
could
why
take
didn't
Mo
Brock
Lewis.
why didn't Brock Purdy start right away?
Exactly.
That's a terrible point. That's a god awful
It's
point.
not a terrible
It's a
point.
stupid ass point. Yes, it is.
It is not.
You
why,
had-
why don't you come on the show on Thursday with dry hair? Okay, before you start running that mouth. of yours.
I was
All right.
trying to push you. I was like, I want to see if I can get some out of
Yeah.
him.
Oh, it's easy.
No, I'm just saying. Bledsoe, the guy that you signed to a pretty high contract. I think it was the highest during that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you draft a
Well,
7th round guy. Okay.
You know what's? Want to hear something crazy? Rick Meyer and Bledsoe were drafted 1 and 2 that year. In the draft, Meyer went to Seattle. Bledsoe went to the Patriots. Dude, they live in the same neighborhood right here in San Diego. They're like
Really?
neighbors. Yeah, kind of weird.
Anthony Richardson starting against the Jets this weekend.
Yeah. What happened to
Thoughts on that?
Flacco?
He's out.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you
I-
think about that, Mario? I mean, you're from Indy.
Under. I think I'm gonna bet my life on the under. Under.
Okay.
Under.
I'm gonna throw one at you, Mars, since you have so many Bears family friends out there. Shane Steichen, let's say they fire him, because the worst thing that could happen to a coach is when players start telling the media that guys aren't giving 100%.
Yeah.
A year time, Shane Steichen was a genius coach. Colts go, we're moving on. The Bears, how would Caleb Williams do with those wide receivers and Shane Steichen as his coach?
I mean, they'd be better with I think he'd be better than he is now. So I would take it. The best thing for Chicago right now is that whatever coach is going to come in, you're going to get a schedule that's pretty easily because you're going to finish last in the division. Your division sucks and that's hard, but you're going to get that again. And Ryan Poles is not good at hiring coaches, but he is a good at drafting players and signing guys. You can say whatever you want, but he's done pretty well at that at least. So it's a good destination spot. I think it's Steichen. If Steichen was their coach now, I think they would have a winning record. I think they'd
I
be
agree.
yeah. So I think it'd be I would take it, but Vrabes has to be learn from the Chargers. Get an established guy.
Doesn't help that the Bears are in this insane division.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Bears are just bad luck, I feel like, all the time.
JS20
Yeah.
writes on the side here. Did you guys see BYU Utah? Yeah, I did watch that game. And I hate when referees become the story. And Utah completely got screwed over. Garbage. You guys probably
Yeah.
didn't catch it, but it was late your
No,
time.
I saw it.
You left
I
way
saw it.
late. It's ridiculous. But that's all I got to say about that. I'm sorry, but when
Not
you're
like
30
Forrest
years
Gump.
old and you're playing college football, you have no business getting calls also. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I like the
Yeah.
Forrest Gump line. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. that's about it. That's about it.
All right, Mike G, $5 says, I think the next 2 games define the whole season. Thoughts? I think the next 4 games define the whole season of what this team is. I think you got to throw in, shoot, off the top of my head, you got the Falcons, the Chiefs, the Bengals, and the Ravens. Yep, I agree with Mario. You got to go 2-2 minimum. You got to win 2 of
I
those
agree.
4 games.
I agree. Style points for me on this team mean something. I've never said that before about any team. Like a win's a win, but style points mean something to me. Like what direction are they going in? The last few games, I couldn't be happier about what I saw. But let's say they lose tough ones to the Chiefs or to the Ravens, but they did everything right. They didn't win that day.
Mhm.
That's kind of a win for me. I think this team makes the playoffs anyway. I think there's room for failure. It sounds weird to say on this team, but I could see them losing games and Jim Harbaugh being pleased with what he saw. Like we've seen plenty of losses, we aren't pleased with what we saw. Like nothing went right. Like when those games happened. I thought the Ravens game, by the way, was going to be a game the Chargers had no chance in when that schedule came out. I expect the Chargers to win that game now.
Well, last year there was no chance from the beginning of the game against the Ravens.
Yep.
Blowout right when we lost the coin toss. We never won anything else after that. Sean Bergen 499 says, "Ayo, what's good, boys? What's good?
What's
Today's
good? It's a good line, by the way. Well, yeah, what's good is good. When someone calls you and they answer the phone and say, "What's good?" It always puts a smile on your face. You know?
Yeah, better than what's
Yeah.
up, bitch.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
those a lot too.
Funny though.
Those make me
Those are
laugh.
funny.
Those make me laugh. Yeah, I laugh at that.
I liked doing the I used to like doing sup nephew. Because I was like
Yeah,
right after I became an uncle. So I would just say nephew all the time to everyone.
Like your Snoop Dogg."
Yeah, then someone told me that. I was like, I should probably stop that.
All right, do you guys have anything else before we get out of here?
Let's call it. Let's call it. We'll be back. Guess what? We're gonna be back in like 27 hours. We're gonna do another one. This time we're gonna
Go
aim for
again.
actually a show that starts on the time we tell you it's gonna start. 1 o'clock Pacific time. We're gonna be back. We're gonna pick our games, and of course, we'll break down the game. I know a lot.
Wait,
of
how
people
did
say
we
you
do this
think-
week, Dave?
Oh God dang it! I'll tell you right now. All right, here we go.
God damn it.
All right, here you go. Who do you think did the best? Just off without you guys looking.
You.
No, I did not.
Yeah,
You
it's
did, Josh.
I was gonna say Josh. I remember
Josh
Josh,
went-
I'm really liking Josh's picks.
Yeah, Josh did good. Josh went well. He did good here, and he's gaining ground. Josh, you went 9-6 on the season. You're 69-84. You're still in last place.
Okay.
I went 8-7. I'm 74-79. Mario, man, not a losing week, but a much less week than he normally has. Mario was 8-7 as well. He's 83-70 on the week.
Damn.
Okay. And then tomorrow night, of course, we have Thursday Night Football. We have the Eagles Commanders. Should be interesting to see what happens there. But we're going to pick games, and Mario has a ton of great stuff, info for you leading into the Charger game. We'll let you know exactly what you need to look out for on Sunday, and at the same time, what this Charger team's doing. We'll tell you what we know injury-wise and what we expect to see from Jim Harbaugh's guys as they get ready for the big game against the Bengals. Again, the game has been moved out. You should know by now it is the Sunday Night Football game, so that's awesome. So basically everyone's watching, right? Even the degenerates who lost a ton of money or chasing money on Sunday night, they're going to be watching. Everybody's watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to the show. We appreciate it. Again, thank you for joining us in the morning on a different time and everything else. But you guys were here, man. That was awesome. Dominic, sorry for losing my cool. Just happened to the bro thing rubbed me a little wrong because I thought you were talking down to me. So for Mario and Josh Palais, I'm Dave Palais. Thank you very much for watching the Bolt Crew podcast. We'll see you tomorrow, 1 o'clock Pacific time.
Before we go, I got this from my mother and my grandmother, who's kind of losing it. So shout out to my grandmother. Happy birthday, Dave. You should be happy today.
Thank you.
That's all I got, folks.
Right. That's very nice.
That's all it
So they
is.
watch the show
So
live. I appreciate that. That's very nice.
Appreciate it. Yeah, there we go. That's it. Hug your mom.